My report is in board share. Curriculum and professional development. Just want to thank Mahoning County ESC for all their support. In the morning, we stayed at Dixon, and my teachers did writing across the curriculum, as well as 4th grade met individually with reps from the county and did testing blueprints, model curricula, and critical areas of focus for the testing that's coming up. And they're all returning for follow-up meetings during planning times, during common planning times. I put there some student achievement data from our fall leveling so that you could see those scores there, and the kids that either are on a RIMP plan, a reading improvement and monitoring plan, or did not meet the fall level for that class period will go to LLI, which is leveled literacy intervention, have guided reading, and have peer tutors. Pack with the principal continues, observations continue, evaluations continue. Kindergarten is just finishing up with Families Children First Councils, aiming high lessons, and 3rd grade will begin in the month of January. Mrs. Moore and the specials teachers did a great job with our Veterans Day program, and thank you also to the American Legion, Post 290, and PTO for the refreshments that followed. I also want to thank Mrs. Gorby and Mr. Sims for hosting our annual book parade. We had 93 floats in the parade this year. The 10th annual Giving Tree is underway. In fact, gifts are due tomorrow. Pickup for those families is on Friday. And the Salem FOP, Lodge 88, Ryan Pike, we have his daughter Regan in school. He came last year and he's coming this year. They're giving a food certificate to all 12 families, and he'll be helping me load all the cars. This is our 10th year for that. This year we're helping 12 families. Over the past 9 years, and including this year, we've helped 81 families, 242 children, and that's an outpouring of 2,400 gifts. And a thank you to all the families that assisted for Thanksgiving as well. We gave away 5 Thanksgiving dinners from Mr. and Mrs. Chardy, and we gave away 10 turkeys from Family Video, and Mrs. Miller and Danny Clancy filled those baskets with the rest of the food, so 12 more families could have Thanksgiving dinner. And the same with the Giving Tree. It's just community-wide. Now, Gamma Eta Sorority, the Rotary, the FOP, the Interact Club, National Honor Society, the Nazarene Church, Family Video, the Methodist Women's Group, Sambita Boggs Foundation, Tricia Misos' financial literacy class. The Flaming Ice Cube is donating a Webkin to every child, which there are 26 kids on the Giving Tree this year. And Christ the King Church is donating a gift certificate from all Nemen's IGAs for them to go and get dinner for Christmas dinner. So it's really come a long way from the first year of doing it, and I just want to make sure I thank everybody. Our annual way station collection is underway. Our first safety drill was done. We evacuated to the First Christian Church with the help of the police department. They gave our teachers a tour of the First Christian Church and all of the rooms that they can use for reunification or to continue to teach classes if we have to evacuate for any reason. And they put the teachers in each room so the kids will still have essentially a classroom to go to. Parent-teacher conferences were well attended. The 3rd and 4th graders took their annual walking field trip to Main Street Theater, where the Crown Productions put on The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, and 3rd and 4th grade read the book, so this was a culminating activity for them. I would like to especially thank Anna Bell, Bus 8's driver. The weather started to get bad that day that they walked to the field trip, and she called and said, "I'm in Latonia. If you let me know what time the production is over, I'm going to go get my bus. I'll sit outside the theater and wait for them, even if it takes me a couple trips." And it took her 3 trips to go and get all 175 kids, but she did that all volunteer. She did that herself and took it up on herself, and I really, really appreciated that. Trying to think. Oh, and thank you to the Rotary. Operation Warm Coats. I gave 30 coats out to kids from all 3 buildings, got winter coats. And the Columbiana Police Department has been in this week. They're coming in uniform during the day, and they're reading Christmas stories to the kids. And Santa Shop is this week. Polar Express Day is Friday. Our classroom parties are next Tuesday. And that is my report. Thank you.
Southside Middle School good news report. Veterans Day. Southside students attended Veterans Day. It was a very moving ceremony this year. One of our students' father spoke. Probably one of the best messages that I remember since I've been here. And special thanks to Miss Heasley, who took Veterans Day over this year, and I think she did a fine job in her first year of the program. The Southside also held its book fair from November 15th to the 22nd. I'd like to thank all of those who attended and all of those that assisted in the book fair and helping make it a great success. This year for in-service, Southside in the morning was led at presentations by our own staff members, Ashley Michael, Brandy Brown, and Meg Silver. They continued their morning with training in Illuminate. And the afternoon, though, was filled with mini sessions which allowed staff choices for their training, and they were very, very excited about the choices they made, and feedback on the day was very good. Special thanks to Mr. Martin, who put that day together. Sports, Clipper sports. Winter sports season is off to a fast start. The wrestling team does not have very good numbers this year, but apparently we have some good wrestlers, and they're off to a start that looks like they're going to have some great records. All 4 basketball teams have full teams. Probably the first time since I've been here that we have 4 full teams. We usually have at least 1 team that maybe has small numbers. Other schools aren't even fielding teams at some grade levels. But we're in great shape numbers-wise, and I'd like to point out our 8th grade boys and 7th grade girls are undefeated at this time. Southside Middle School cheerleading squad has continued their fine work they began in the fall. Also, we had our parent-teacher conferences on the 21st of November. Turnout, we had 160 conferences, which is a fantastic number. We also went to the Crown Theater to see the play, 5th and 6th grade. They kicked off our holiday season by attending that a performance on December 8th. Special thanks to the PTO who came through with, there was a small financial cost to that, and some of our students that were having some issues about being able to go, the PTO came through with some money. I've included on our schedule our music performances. 5th and 6th grade band had a fantastic performance on Sunday. And tonight we were supposed to have the 5th and 6th grade choir. We canceled that. That will be on Thursday night at 6 o'clock before the 7th and 8th grade choir. And our 7th grade band and the 8th graders, which perform with the high school band, will be this coming Sunday. We'll be having our first dance of the year for 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. We're going to dance the night away on Friday, December 16th from 5 to 7 in the cafeteria. 8th grade to Dixon. Sometimes Dixon does not have enough going on down there, so we're going to bring our 8th graders down, and they write their own holiday stories. They team up with the Dixon students and present the stories. There's usually some artwork involved to back up their stories. So special thanks to Mrs. Silver and Mrs. Zalanish for their leadership in making this annual event such a success. That's coming up next week. And then our final day, Southside Middle School students will be participating in the Heart Chase. The Heart Chase is a series of activities that the teams of students will attempt to gain points and compete against each other. Proceeds go to the American Heart Association. Thanks to Mr. Hurdle and Mrs. Baylor for their work in organizing this event. I think we'll have a good time there on the last day of school. Also, the final day of school, Dave Cohoot will be providing an inspirational message to our students. Important dates in the future: we have vacation coming up. Middle school kids are all looking forward to our vacation. And one of my favorite days, when we get back on January 4th, that's our second day back, I believe, we have our geography bee in the auditorium at 1 o'clock. I always enjoy the geography bee, and I'm amazed how much some of the students know about geography. And I'm pleased to say that is the end of our report. Happy holidays to everyone. Thank you.
That was good, Dave.
That was good. So enthusiastic. Thank you. High school report. We recently had professional development, November 28th. We want to thank John LaPlante for giving his Illuminate session. It helps us track our student data, especially end of course testing, which is becoming more and more in the paper recently. Thanks to Jason Martin for arranging the tech and other offerings in the afternoon. It's always great to see our own staff teaching our staff, so it was a really interesting afternoon. Special Agent Justin Soroka joined our forensics class today, and he's coming back. They set up actually a crime scene back there. That's why the tape is back there, if you see that. So Justin is from the BCI from Ohio, and he presented an overview of his job and showed the students his portable crime lab. We wanted to thank Patty Mardig and Wade Boley for setting this up. So they set up the crime scene. They're going to be working for a couple days investigating and gathering up some evidence. So. Under students and community, we want to thank Interact, NHS Student Government, and a host of other independent students that are currently helping with the Joy of Christmas light show in the park. They're working a total of 108 shifts at an hour and a half per shift. So we want to thank all those kids for going out there. Kim brought up Mrs. Misos. They had a pancake breakfast and sold some t-shirts at the wrestling meet to raise about $400 for the Giving Tree. We're also putting our drone to use. They're going to go down and video the Joy of Christmas light display, so that should be interesting. And they're also working on a project. They're flying over Columbiana, and they're going to do a little video about Columbiana. Some school activities coming up. High school choir will be performing their winter concert Monday the 19th at 7, and the band concert will take place the day before, Sunday, December 18th at 7. Miss Heasley wanted me to include the postseason athletic honors that will be located under the CHS part in your board share. And that concludes my report.